All right, what's going on, everyone? Let's take a look today at a handful of YouTube shorts. And the links to every one of these are going to be in the video description below. So you can check out the channel, check out the videos if interested. But let's get started. We've got some Chechens here. So it's just like mag dumping out the window. In the right situation, of course, that might be necessary. Never know what they're... like the cameraman. There you go. So there's an argument. Let me turn the sound off here for a second. There's an argument for semi-automatic over automatic weapons. I remember reading this at one point. I don't know if it's entirely accurate or just makes for a good story. That one of the reasons the United States shifted to semi-automatic over automatic weapons for the individual rifleman was because it's so easy to go through a ton of ammo in this situation. Both of those guys, like that, have empty mags that they've got to reload or pick up a new one. Whereas in the U.S. military, we're firing semi-automatic. It takes quite a bit longer to go through, say, 30 rounds, which at the end of the day potentially means you have to carry less ammo because you're actually aiming for each shot. But I don't know. That might just be an interesting story. All right, moving on to the next one here. I don't think I can do that at baseline. It's hard to tell until the dude starts pulling this off. He's actually got plates inside of his armor. I mean, front and back, that's easily adding 20 pounds of body weight or to his body weight to do that. Jesus. All right, there's been a lot of talk about mines in the war in Ukraine, anti-tank and anti-personnel mines. This video appears to show a Ukrainian tank that struck an anti-tank mine, and for all we know, the crew actually could have survived this. Tank is obviously decimated, but I thought it was interesting here. You can see the blast crater right there, and then they pulled the tank out of there, and look at the track is just completely decimated. I don't know how long it's going to take to repair that, if it's repairable at all, but I think it shows even while the tank is still technically intact, that thing's completely out of the fight at a relatively low cost of an anti-tank mine that could have been there for days or even weeks. Sticking with tanks here, I don't know where this video was shot, but that most likely was a PFM-1 anti-personnel mine. The little green toe poppers, butterfly mines, I think they're called at times. They're dispersed from aircraft or artillery shells. Bombs are artillery shells, so bombs dropped from aircraft, artillery shells fired from cannons. They're released out of the munition, and they have a timed fuse. So, silly when a tank drives over it. Like, 0 done to that tank. It's going to keep moving. But anyways, a timed fuse, so these things can hit the ground before they arm. And they're incredibly dangerous because they can be scattered all over cities or battlefields. I imagine the tank probably wasn't the primary target for that little guy. Now, this is showing a Russian tank. It says in the video description that this is Ukrainians having captured it. I just want to point out, for once, like the amount of captured equipment. Well, there's Ukrainians right there. So, the amount of captured equipment in this war is not normal. Like, it is a shocking volume of captured equipment that, you know, we're primarily seeing the Ukrainians capture Russian equipment. It's gone both ways. The Russians started the war with more tanks, more armored personnel carriers, more artillery pieces, so it makes sense if there's a lot of capturing going on that it would be the Ukrainians doing that. But, like, it's not normal in any war. If you look at the U.S. and Iraq and Afghanistan, how many times did you see the insurgents or ISIS driving around in Humvees or MRAPs or MATVs? They did get their hands on, you know, especially after the U.S. left the country, Humvees at times and some MRAPs now. But while U.S. forces were in country, like, it wasn't a thing. You didn't abandon vehicles. It's crazy to see how frequently that's happening in Ukraine. Last one here. I thought this was interesting. This is an older clip. I don't know exactly when it came out, but it's Ukrainian soldier firing a manpad, supposedly shooting down an Orlan 10 UAV. It's a Russian drone. The reason, hard to tell at this angle, right? You see the little puff of smoke. They're cheering, so he hits something. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The reason I wanted to show this is recently there's been a lot of drone strikes. The Shahed Iranian drones striking in in Kyiv and all across Ukraine, as well as missile strikes all across the country. And the point that I've seen brought up recently that this video kind of highlights is the cost difference between these two. So an Orlan 10 drone I've seen around $8,000 to $10,000 per, which is expensive, but not in the military world. On the other side, like a Stinger, which I don't know if that's exactly what this guy's firing or not, but a Stinger man-pad, man-portable air defense system is around $38,000 to $40,000. So if you're trading a man-pad for an Orlan drone, it takes, you got to shoot 4 of them out of the air to make up the cost of that one Stinger, and obviously one Stinger is only good for that one round. So that potentially is a little bit of Russian strategy as they're releasing more and more of these Iranian drones over the skies. Those are very cheap in comparison to the resources needed to shoot them down. I don't know if that's, I don't mean to suggest that's some master Russian strategy, but it is something worth considering as this, air versus air defense war has kind of picked up over the last couple weeks. I think that'll wrap it up for now. We'll see y'all next time.